Hello, Jillski here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am using this Sunday sketch from Studio Calico for my page today. I'd like to say hello to all of my new subscribers. Thanks so much for joining me. Here I am going through a bunch of the Dear Lizzie Fine and Dandy papers that I thought I was going to use on this page, but it ended up not working out that way. But I did use one of these die cuts here. I'm just going to go through this pack really quick. And there was one, there's a typewriter in here that I knew I wanted to use, and I really have no reason to use a typewriter for anything else. So today I'm scrapping a picture of me and a few of my coworkers from when I was working. So I wanted to use that. Like I said earlier, I am a very literal scrapbooker. So I also pulled out the Fine and Dandy Project Life Core Kit, and I wanted to go through and pick out a 12 by 12 card that I would use for the journaling. I don't do Project Life, so I'm not sure why I have it, but I'll figure out something cute to do with it. So today I'm going to use a lot of thickers on my page. So there I am going through my very sophisticated cardboard box of thickers, and I pulled out all of the ones that I am just sick of seeing. I can't really use them because they don't have enough vowels left, and I wanted to use them up and, you know, get the satisfaction of finally, like, being able to go through an entire package of something. So I pulled out the ones I wanted to use. I grabbed my white acrylic paint and a huge paintbrush. So here I thought originally that I was going to paint all of the letters onto just some scrap piece of cardstock, and then I realized that I didn't want to do that, so I put it all back, and then I end up painting it on the packaging, which turned out to be a lot easier. So I really didn't have a plan going into this. For painting them, I wanted to make them all white, so I kind of just played it by ear. So these are chipboard thickers, and they took the paint really well. I think I only had to go over them once, maybe twice, with my paint there. And then I decided it's they're still a good neutral thicker, so I am keeping all of the numbers as is. I didn't want to paint those and put them on my layout. So I just went through my stash of thickers, and so I have these chipboard ones. I have those glitter chipboard thickers. I think they're an older Dear Lizzie, and they had glitter on them. I wasn't sure how it was going to come out, but as I was painting it, I realized that it was a pretty cool texture on the sticker. So I'm really glad that that worked out the way it did. So I'm starting to put down some of the foam stickers here, and I really just wanted to put them going, in different directions, and I didn't want to have, too many of the same kind of font together. I wanted to space them out. So I'm going to time lapse the placement of these here so you don't have to watch all of it. And as I go along, I put my photo down because I realize I need to figure out where my title is going to go. So I'll do that soon. And then naturally, I really liked the movement of the stickers, like, underneath my photo. It had this really cool, it almost like seemed like a burst coming out of the top center of the page. But unfortunately, a lot of it got covered up under the photo. So I'm just getting everything down, making sure it's straight. The title is 9 to 5 because it is a photo of me and some people from work. So I'm also being careful to let some of the thickers hang off of the edge of the paper. It looks, I think, like really cool and almost organic that way, the way that they just move off of the page. So I was able to cover up the entire 12 by 12 piece of paper with my leftovers from 3.5 sets of alpha stickers. And there are mostly consonants left over, so I had to be pretty careful not to put certain ones together to, that might make an offensive or inappropriate word. So a few of the chipboard stickers had lost their adhesive, so I just used my glossy accents there to make sure they stayed down. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and trim off the excess. I tried to keep all of the foam thickers towards the edge of the paper because those were the easiest to trim off. So that's my photo. I am third from the right there, and I'm just going through the 4x6 project life cards to see which ones I want to go underneath my photo. Then I thought I might want to use that polka dot paper from the same collection, and it was just too much white on the page. So I ended up going with the green and white diagonal stripe from the Chamel True Stories collection. That is actually one of the colors of my company's logo, so I just thought that made more sense. And so I go ahead and get that stuck down. I'm not really a pastel person anyway, and that's pretty much what those Dear Lizzie papers were. So this, I felt, worked better for me. So I ended up not using that big pink typewriter die cut that I had pulled out earlier. I instead cut this out from one of the project life cards. And I thought I was going to use it. I don't end up, but I'm just putting some foam dots on the one half of it to keep it level with the photo. So what I'm noticing there is the chartreuse color on the typewriter doesn't really go well with the green stripe of the pattern paper, and I decide that I don't want to keep it there. So I'm just trying some other die cuts to see what, if anything, would work better. So after playing around with that for a little bit, I remember that on one of the True Stories cut apart sheets, there is another typewriter that I end up cutting out, but it's too big, so I do try and make it work for a little bit. And the sentiment that is on the piece of paper coming out of the typewriter, it's two hearts, and then it says "so happy together," which isn't necessarily the thing I would want to express about work. So I covered it up with a couple of the little phrase stickers from the Amy Tangerine Rise and Shine collection, and I covered it up with the phrases that say, "bright idea, let's stay home." So I thought that was hilarious, but I ended up not using that. So instead of using that larger typewriter, I pulled the same cut apart sheet from the 6x6 paper pad, and I like the way that looks a lot better. So I go ahead and cut that out also, and then that makes its way onto the layout, and then I end up using the phrase sticker that says to-do list that covers the "so happy together." So here I am using one of those Dear Lizzie journaling cards. This also gets changed up a little bit in the end. I think I had to write my journaling out like 3 different times because I wasn't happy with it. So there I'm just showing you that I punched a hole in the top and I put some twine through the hole. I left it kind of long too so that you could pull it. It would stick out over the page protector and you'd be able to pull it out. So just showing you the photo there. Then I found those label stickers and that gold paper clip that I wanted to use since it's a layout about, you know, the days when I was in an office, so I wanted to put that on there. And then I realized that that teal color is one of the other colors that was on my company's logo, that and the yellowish green. So I wanted to put that on my journaling card instead of the yellow. So I go ahead and I draw some lines on there to write my journaling down. And so this was, I think, the 3rd time I had written it. It should be committed to memory, but I don't remember exactly what it says. I think it's, just a synopsis about my time there. So I go ahead and get that written down, and then I put that, after I erase my lines, I go ahead and put it up top where it's going to live. And thumbs up, I like the way it looks. That's the look at the finished layout, and here are some more close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm on the web, I'm on Instagram. You can find me on Jilsky.com, and my handle on Instagram is Jilsy. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.